Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Do. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Welcome to Monday. Hope everything is going great. Your intention for today is this. Today's going to be a good day. Very simple. Today's going to be a good day. You don't have to put all the pressure of great on yourself. Just today is going to be a good day. This week in Pathfinders, we're going to get together for a heart chakra activation. I've been feeling this ever since 2024. We've been talking about intuition pretty constantly. And this year, we're talking more about meditation, about activating your chakra centers. And the heart chakra is really where it's at. So we're going to do that as a collective this week. And I hope you join us. If you're part of Pathfinders, please do. Some of you watch that recorded later. It's still effective watching it recorded, so don't worry about that. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the reading today. Settle right in, Mr. Charlie. Valiant courage. I got that in the reading yesterday, too. Takes courage. Takes courage to love. It takes courage to be, vulnerable like that. Take action with passion. How appropriate. We have the energy of Neptune moving into Aries. That happened yesterday. And April has a lot of energy around, I don't know, it's not the right word, forcing, but like presenting you with opportunities to be creative and courageous. I made up a new word. How about that? Begin now. Take your first step. Staying focused. Hold the course. That was also in last week's reading a lot about focus. Navigating by the stars. Follow your bliss. This is what happens when you're really aligned with your heart chakra. It's like you just know what the next step is. When you're blocking, or when all of this, when you're in the energy of fear, the energy of am I grounded, giving away my power, all of these lower three chakras, when you're in that space, you're not really in the energy of love, even for self, especially for self. So I really want to say to you that inner child work is extremely courageous, because what you're doing is you're making yourself available for bigger and better things. And there's a lot of times when staying sort of in your shell feels safe. But I'm going to say to you now, it's probably the worst thing you can do, because we are in a time in history where things are moving fast, and you're going to be asked, there's going to be a lot asked of each of us, and we get to choose. We also have to take personal responsibility for our own decisions, for our health, for our well-being. We've got to take some personal responsibility, and like nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to do it for you. So let's really embrace that. And as a collective, we do help each other, but it's not my job. It's not your job to make sure somebody, eats their vegetables and goes to bed at a reasonable hour. It's not your job. At some point, it's not even your job about your kids. Okay? So underneath is the Queen of Wands, the Eight of Wands, Tower. Wow. Five of Swords, and then the Eight of Cups. So there's a flashpoint here. There's a flashpoint. I almost feel like someone's trying to get the better of you. Someone's trying to use a situation to gain power, to gain control, or something like that. And I feel like this for the collective, not just individually, because a lot of times an individual story will come through, but this is definitely a collective story, that the more energy around creativity, the more we're sort of sparking the fear of those who want to shut things down or keep things small so it's manageable, so I can handle it, right? And I see you stepping into your power and, really being courageous here. Valiant courage. Begin now. Stay focused. because there are definitely some energies on the path that are trying to knock you off that path. Hmm. We'll look at that more as we go. There's Venus. Venus energy. Wow. Empress and then the Emperor. Opportunity. Page of Cups. Forgiveness. Yeah, this is the energy of forgiveness. You don't have to talk to somebody to forgive them. So this could be, some of you are forgiving your parents, some of you are forgiving an ex, some of you are forgiving yourself. But this inner masculine feminine energy, wow, that's a rarity that this comes out. And it came out as Venus first. So you're showing up as divine feminine energy. The masculine energy, we are starting to embrace the Aries passion and fire. We're starting to embrace that. The Piscean energy just was a lot of, and I'm a fire sign with a lot of air. So, for me, it was very challenging to kind of know what end is up. And you kind of have to just, that's kind of the point. It's like, it doesn't want to be organized. It wants to be fluid. I just got the word malefic in my head. And there are plenty of people who are utilizing the lack of knowing what end is up to manipulate people, to make them, feel like, I'm not sure, okay, Pisces, we don't know which end is up. This is great. This is just how it's supposed to be. So super fluid. But then using that as a weapon. I just see you really moving away from that. So we're moving into a time in our history where we are going to be choosing utopia or dystopia. And if you want, however you see the world is what you're going to be bringing in more of, even more than, I just feel like the Piscean energy ushered in a time where the solid nature of 3D has become much more fluid, and I'm not sure we can lay it all at the feet of Pisces, but Neptune's been in Pisces for 14 years. And so I'm going to say now Neptune is moving into Aries and says, okay, what do you want to fight for? What do you want to fight for? What hill is worth it to you? And I feel like some of you have to offload a lot of resentment, anger, rage. There's a really good scene with Leonard and his mother in Big Bang where she's there. I mean, Christine Baranski is just awesome. And Leonard, says, they get to the point where he's going to talk to her about all the things that she's done in his life that, has been a problem for him. And she's like, okay, I'm ready. And he's like, get comfortable. It's a long list. And she said, well, okay, dear, like something kind of condescending, like, well, are we started yet? Like something like that. And he's like, you know what? You're never going to change. And I have to accept that. And if I expect you to accept me the way I am, I have to accept you the way you are. It doesn't mean you have to like it. But there's something final about that was really beautiful, that made me feel like, wow, he got it. He's not trying to make some kind of version of her other than who she is. And he doesn't have to think that that's great, but he does have to accept it. And that's what he says. And they end up hugging, which is really a beautiful scene, because he said, I forgive you. And she said, I didn't ask for forgiveness. And he's like, too bad. I'm going to forgive you anyway. Oh, that felt so good. I love that scene because there's just something so cathartic about stop trying to make it something it's not. Okay. So spirit is saying perspective is everything. How you're looking at a thing is how it's going to be. So you could look at an experience and say, this is bad. And somebody else with the very same set of facts looks at that experience and says, it's good. This is going to be the agency or the channel through which we live life more than we ever have before. I feel like we've done that all this time, but now there's something really like the set of facts in front of us or the set of circumstances can really be molded by your perception of it. It's always been true. There's nothing new under the sun here, but there's something about you recognizing that you have that power to look at a circumstance and say, I see the potential for love here. Or I see a possibility, an opportunity. I see an opportunity for love here where none existed before. Or I see an opportunity for joy, for passion, for healing where none existed before. And it takes courage to do that. I feel like some of you have looked at a circumstance for a very long time and said, this is what it is. And now you're going to change the story for yourself. You're going to change the story. Like, I need to get this person's approval in order to feel whole or healthy or worthwhile. And now I don't need their approval. I don't need it. I don't really care what they think anymore. How'd we get here? 10 of Wands. You've been carrying this burden too long, my friends. Wow. 10 of Cups. Yeah. You've been carrying this burden for a long time. Needing someone's approval or needing someone's love in order to feel valuable. I just feel like that's over now. 4 of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the outcome is the Page of Pentacles. It's about really learning a new lesson. 2 of Wands, 2 of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Where are we going here? Wow, Judgment. Okay, so this is like a preamble lesson. It's the first time you really see yourself shaping reality to your desire. Okay? To your desire, to what it is that you want to, and recognizing that, I think I said this yesterday in the For Whoever reading, that if you're looking at a circumstance and calling it love, and then being upset with that circumstance or that person because it's not what you hope it would be. But can you see that that's probably not love to begin with? That you're looking at a circumstance and choosing to call it love because that is from an unhealed part of you that thinks it's love. And going, oh, this isn't love. Why did I always think this was love? So this is what perspective is bringing you right now, where you get to go, oh, it's like you're waking up. A lot of people are waking up right now going, oh, wow, that's not love. Oh, holy moly, that is not what I'm looking for. And then really doing the healing work and aligning with your heart chakra. Okay, that's what we're doing this week. We had the new moon in Aries, still powerful energy through this week. So if you want to set an intention for healing inner masculine, healing inner feminine, really choosing love and choosing to feel into that. What does that feel like? What does love really feel like? And then instead of trying to label something that isn't love as love, you're able to then go, oh, I see. Okay, that's not love. That's not what I'm looking for anyway. That's not the experience I want to have. Queen of Cups, heart chakra. Okay. So, all right. The Eight of Swords and the Hanged Man, isn't that funny? And the Temperance card, that's Archangel Michael. This is sort of like not asking for help when you could and staying stuck instead. And this is about having access to some really much higher level information. Knight of Wands. There is definitely something moving forward here because I'm getting the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Once you learn this lesson of perspective, once you learn and you're able to see things from a new perspective, you're able to make choices differently. You stop lying to yourself. It's a big transformation here, a really big transformation. Hermit. Might have a teacher. You might be becoming a teacher. Three of Wands, the Two of Swords. This is an inner transformation. Ace of Pentacles. New day coming in. So I like this, and I feel like there's going to be some kind of event that happens that you go, oh, wow. That's not it. All this time, I thought you saying you loved me meant you loved me. It doesn't mean that at all. Now I know what love means. There's some experience that you're going to be like, nope, that ain't it. I'm walking away. That ain't it. I'm walking away. All right, let's see. I do want to look at Archangel Michael here for 1 second. What is Archangel Michael saying? Because this feels so cut and dry. Believe and trust. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be fulfilled with strength, courage, and confidence. This is your life's purpose. Got to get this foundational thing correct. Sense of humor, like that. Your home is protected by angels, like that too. And admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. So this is a reorientation of your perspective. And I feel like it does come through with some kind of tower moment this week, because tower is Pluto. Oh, okay. This can be all of the month of April. We have another Mars opposite Pluto energy happening on April 24th. I think that's right. We've had one November 3rd, January 3rd, and now end of April. It's almost like the universe saying to you, like, are you sure you're ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you sure? Let's go. All right, let's keep going. I am going to look deeper into this reading. I am going to also look at what we don't see coming. We'll talk more about the astrology of April. All this week, we're going to be doing that. And don't forget, if you're part of Pathfinders, we're going to do this heart chakra activation this week. So come along. All right. If you want to continue on with this reading, there's a link below, and I will see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.